Keeping you informed, getting you ready for the day with the 3 things that you need to know.
Yeah, and we begin with President Trump's decision to not extend the social distancing guidelines. Take a look at the latest here. The current rules expire today. The president says that those guidelines will fade out because governors are now taking a more hands-on role in individual states. The original order was put into effect 45 days ago. Lifting the guidelines now paves the way for the gradual reopening of businesses and restaurants.
Today, North Carolina House lawmakers are expected to debate and vote on their version of a coronavirus relief package. Yesterday, the Senate unanimously passed the $1.4 billion version. The House package earmarks $1.7 billion and includes more money for public schools and university research. The 2 versions will need to be reconciled before they go to the governor for his signature. And today, more businesses will begin reopening in Mecklenburg County. They include car dealers, electronic, craft and bookstores, as well as realtors. They say that they have to follow social distancing guidelines. Funerals can now have up to 50 people at a time instead of 10. And things like tennis courts, they will be able to reopen. Mecklenburg County will also be opening up the boat ramps along with parking lots at parks and greenways and the nature preserves today.
Yes, and these changes will be bringing on a new approach from police as well. CMPD says that they are adapting to the state's stay-at-home guidelines, which permit public gatherings outside as long as people observe social distancing. Deputy Chief Jeff Estes said that they will allow protests that follow the rules and other gatherings as they try to figure it out.
We don't have a playbook to go by, and what we can do is use our best judgment based on what the governor's orders or the county proclamations are to try to enforce that in a reasonable manner.
Police say that they have taken between 2,500 and 3,000 calls reporting violations in the county stay-at-home order, but they have issued fewer than 20 citations and they have made 8 arrests. And the number of coronavirus cases continues climbing across the Carolinas. In North Carolina, there are nearly 10,000 cases. That is out of more than 118,000 completed tests. There are more than 350 deaths statewide, 354 to be exact. And in South Carolina, there are just over 5,700 confirmed cases. 192 people have died there.
It's 5:07 and we will return to our coronavirus coverage in just a moment. But first, today marks 1 year since the deadly shooting at UNC Charlotte.
6 students were shot inside of a classroom at Kennedy Hall, and 2 of them, Riley Howell and Reed Parlier, died. Riley Howell should be graduating this year, and Reed Parlier would be wrapping up his junior year.
Parlier's family to talk about his life and the many ways that he's being honored. Brian and Julie Parlier turned this garden here into a tribute to Reed. They say they're close friends and even strangers are finding unique ways to honor his life. A scholarship will help students pursue his passions in computers or gaming. The Comic-Con tournament in Texas held moments of silence for him last month. And a trail at Rob Wallace Park in Midland will soon bear his name, along with these steps at Pine Lake Country Club.
It's just been amazing, the support that we've received. Although I know, speaking for him as well, that we'd give it all back in a heartbeat if we could.
Yeah, the Parliers are grateful. The campus and the city will not forget their son, but they say no ceremony or honor can heal their broken hearts. Later today, UNC Charlotte is honoring the victims from that shooting. They have a virtual remembrance program that will start at 5:10 tonight on their social media pages. Now, 5:10 is the time the shooting started. And a little bit after that, the Parlier family is hosting a Light the Night remembrance event starting at 8:30. They'll meet at the entrance of the Pine Lake Country Club in Mint Hill. Anyone who wants to pay their respects can drive through and drop off notes or cards in a basket. Yesterday, we learned that students will be back on campus in the fall. The UNC system interim president made the announcement saying the majority of faculty and students need access to libraries, labs, and classrooms so they can fully engage. And this comes just a couple days after we told you about a lawsuit against UNC Charlotte and the UNC system. The lawsuit claims the university refused to offer any prorated tuition discounts as a result of moving classes online and deprive students of in-person instruction. The attorney who filed the class action lawsuits says that a refund could mean thousands of dollars per student.
And 9 days after South Carolina's governor allowed all kinds of non-essential businesses to reopen, well, some of them aren't. We found clothing stores, department stores, shoe stores, and many others still closed up. Business owners that did open their doors back up are making sure that their employees and customers are protected and that they can follow the social distancing guidelines. Chamber of Commerce leaders told us that it is largely about adapting to radical changes.
I'm very pleased and proud of our businesses that have shown that ability to adapt and make the best out of a tough situation.
And officials say don't assume that a store is open just because the governor has allowed it to open. You'll want to call ahead or even check online before you make that trip. A New York restaurant that is suffering during this crisis made food for those in need. The R&B Pub House on the York Bypass has only been open for curbside service and pickup orders. Well, yesterday, some friends of the restaurant bought several meals and then they gave the food away. It was a gesture to help the restaurant get through this tough time and to feed the community with a free meal for whoever wanted it.